including everyone. Groups want to be able to include everyone with a learning disability. It's good to use different ways to connect with different groups. For example, people with complex needs, people with autism, Black, Asian and minority ethnic communities, people with mental health problems, parents with learning disabilities, people who find it difficult to come to meetings. Self-advocacy groups are good at including people with different needs and from different backgrounds in their work. Here are some great stories from around the country. People First Independent Advocacy Cumbria, Voices of the Voiceless project. We found out how to include people with complex needs without them having to come to big meetings. Complex needs: if someone is described as having complex needs, they're likely to need a lot of support with things like getting around, their health and communication. Now people tell us what they think in lots of different ways. The self-advocacy group now go into care homes. They work with staff, helping them to think about the people first when writing plans about care or services. Speak Up Self-Advocacy and the New Life Group in Rotherham. A group of young Asian women left their local day centre to set up their own group. The people in this story are Asian. This means that either the women themselves or their families are from a country in Asia. The women got some funding to help them get started. They called themselves Nai Zindagi, the New Life Group. They went to a citizenship course run by Speak Up and were offered a room in Speak Up's building to meet in. A good partnership is developing with the self-advocacy organisation. The two groups are working well together on joint projects. Before the New Life Group came along, Speak Up didn't work with many people from ethnic communities. Ethnic communities are groups of people who share the languages, customs, festivals or beliefs of the country they or their families come from. Some may be more comfortable getting some or all their support from their own community. Now Speak Up have regular links with volunteers from the local community. Advocacy in Greenwich Parents Project. We work with parents who have a learning disability and live in Greenwich, London. We help parents to find the support they want to care for their children. We support parents to speak up and be heard, particularly when there are child protection or court cases. As well as offering one-to-one advocacy, we support a parent self-advocacy group. We think that through our group, we will be able to make changes for parents with a learning disability in Greenwich. We've delivered training for social workers and other professionals to help them support us better. We would like to get more parents to come to our meetings and join up with other parents with a learning disability in London and across the country. Here are some of the things members of the Greenwich Parent Self-Advocacy Group said. Everyone was friendly and I didn't feel judged. I was nervous about coming to the group, but when I came I felt comfortable. Everyone is lovely. We get good support from each other. Warrington Speak Up on the Road project. Warrington Speak Up have found ways to work with people who find it hard to get to meetings. They run workshops in places like day centres and gardening projects. They got grassroots grant funding for their project. This was a funding scheme to help all kinds of local community groups. They visited 5 groups for 6 to 8 weeks. People in these places became more confident during the project. They wanted to be listened to by their friends. One person who can't speak was able to tell us that they didn't like having to spend long periods of time each day on an uncomfortable bus. They did this using gestures and facial expressions. The group found out who to tell, so that different transport could be organised. This project helped to tell more people about the group. 60 people went to their Big Issues conference in the summer.